always skinny, never ate healthy, but then after I had kids, that all changed. There's people out there who are 400, 500 pounds who lost 200 pounds. There are people out there who get started because heart disease runs in their family. There's people because they're, diabetic and they don't want to become insulin dependent. Whatever it is, your story doesn't have to match my story. Your story doesn't have to match the #1 coach or anyone in the top 10's story. It has to be your story. And the thing is, when you're using the product repeatedly, you're going to get results. But you have to kind of dig deep sometimes to figure out what your results are and not compare yourself to somebody else. One thing that I realized is that as my business grew, I stopped working out because I got busy, because I was giving to everybody else. That's one thing that I've learned through my history of, working with therapists lately. Take care of yourself, Mindy. So that's why I said, is that no matter what, before I get on calls with coaches, before I get on calls with prospects, before I get to my inviting, before I get to my follow-up, I get my workout done. 90% of the time, that works out that way. But I make sure I get it done because if I'm not working out, if I'm not drinking my Shakeology, #1, I'm not going to feel good about myself. I'm not valuing myself. #2, if I'm not doing those things, I'm not going to have very consistent results. #3, who wants to tell somebody to do something if they're not doing it? I mean, that comes down to, if you're a parent, you understand that, kids do as they watch you do instead of what you say. And the same thing with your team. And your vibe is different. Whenever I stopped working out because I told myself, I'm running a business, it's busy, I don't have time. Yeah, I was basically telling myself I wasn't worth it. I remember becoming so, back to the old mindset, and that comes into the #3, the three vital behaviors, is that when I first started my Beachbody career, it was January 28th. I found my coach, Becky Rosé, Krystle Nation in Miami, many of you probably know. And she was doing P90X2. She had amazing abs. I still save that picture. I wanted those abs. And then as I started my coaching career, I finished P90X2. That's when I recruited some rock stars, is when I love to work out. I recruited some rock stars that are still with me. And then as I got busy, my team grew, and then when I hit a lead, when I did this, I convinced myself that I was more of a business person, a mompreneur, and I didn't, I had a great transformation, and I use 3-Day Refresh. I'm totally all about being honest. I use 3-Day Refresh every month from the time I released in June of 2014 to just kind of reset myself, because I was fine with average results. I was fine. I'd given up on my dream to have Becky's abs. I know I'll never have Becky's abs. We have different physiques and different bodies, but I gave up the dream of wanting a six-pack because I just settled for average, which I had been doing my whole entire life. I settled for, I had good results, and if I get off track and drink too much beer or travel or do this or that, I'll just do 3-Day Refresh. I'm being proof that the product works, right? 2015, it was all about failing forward. I stopped doing the things. So I'm telling you that no matter how long you've been a coach, and even if you're a brand new coach, understand that this could happen to you. But get back on track, because the thing is, there's so many people who try to reinvent the wheel. And one thing Doug and I were talking about before this got started is that when I went back to basics, and I went back to doing what I was doing, I realized that I needed to do personal development every day, because that was part of my therapy. I needed to work out every day because that is what made me feel good. That's what made me feel confident. That's what was proof that the product worked. And then I realized that when I was doing all that, I had the confidence to go out and invite people. Because who wanted to be invited by somebody who just drank beer and drank Shakeology every day and thought that was good enough, and for 3-Day Refreshes every month and be like, and I had this tagline of saying that, I'm the coach that hates to work out but builds a successful business hating working out. Oh, I'm somebody who loves to drink, but I still do get my workouts in 3 to 4 times a week. Oh, and you know what? I'll always have more before pictures than after. Those are the things that I told myself, and then I put out. And you know what? People still came to me. I had Success Club every month, Success Club, sometimes 20 or more, and they, sorry, I'm running out of time. But I wasn't getting any transformations out there. And I stopped believing in myself with that. So the personal development is what helped me stop settling for that average mindset and going for Becky's abs, getting back on track, and then going for Elite this year and sharing with you my story of success and failure so you can know that the formula of what makes it work. So I hope that you set that goal of the 3 vital behaviors daily. And if you have any more questions, like I said, this is a long topic and it's hard to condense in 20 minutes. But those 3 things, just try it for 30 days. That's why I tell them, try it for 30 days. So many people won't try it because they think they're not going to succeed, so why bother? Give me 30 days of doing the 3 vital behaviors and let me know your success. Because every person I've challenged, they actually have success and they come back and thank me for reminding them. So I hope that helps.
Part of goal achievement. So maybe at the beginning of the new year, you know someone that says they're going to get up at 5 in the morning every day, and then like 2 weeks later, they gave up, right? And the only difference is discipline. And so I used my super accounting nerdy nature to make a checklist of everything that I thought that I needed to do daily as a coach. These days we call it the business activity tracker, and it's not far from what I was doing, but basically it was reaching out to new people every day. It was meeting new people every day. It was, running engaging challenge groups and doing it in a way that made sense for me. Back in my corporate days, I was sort of selling more in person. If you ever heard my national coach call, it's on referrals, because I think Beachbody thinks I built my whole business in my warm market, which I think it did. But, so the truth is I was just sort of the girl working through the office, working through the Christmas card list. But it was growing. It was growing rapidly because I was disciplined. I was super consistent in my actions, and it made it so easy to duplicate. So within 90 days, I was a diamond coach. Within 120 days, I was a 2-star diamond coach. I actually walked my first summit 5 months in as a 2-star diamond coach. And I started to see the duplication take place in my team because I did not want to do this business alone. I wanted to do it with my friends. And I know sometimes we're terrified to talk to our friends about this, and they're not necessarily, does anyone have anyone at home that thinks this thing's kind of a scam? I did too. My dad, who told me even on my 2nd year anniversary that the people at the country club say these things don't work. And I had made $150,000 that year. He texted me today, said congratulations on receiving my check. So I think he's come around. But the truth is that you need to consider your warm market. You should be talking to the people that you want to be going on these lavish trips with, that you want to be strategizing with. I had a friend from high school suggest that she wants to join the business, and she said, I don't know who to join. 7 people from our high school class are all Beachbody coaches. And I said, well, yeah, but they're all under me. So, you're good. You're on my team no matter what. And that's how you want to feel, like that you're doing this with friends. And if you have a strong vision, people just follow you. Like you're just contagious. So you're probably asking yourself, great, I have a vision board, but what's next? I really think that what you have to start doing, one of the things that I did was I made it my timeline vision, a timeline on my Facebook, and I'll never forget it. Lindsey Catarino commented on it once, and she's not in my upline or anything, and she was like, wow, what a great vision board. And I was like, oh, I really gotta go to Bali now, now I'm scared, but the more that you step out and you show it to people, so if you just have a great vision for yourself and you hide it in the closet of your house, then it's not doing anybody any good. You need to be talking about it with the people that you love and with your team, and set a vision for your team. Something for me, I came through corporate. I was a director of finance at my day job. I actually got to leave my day job 16 months from sign up, and I had to replace a 6-figure income to leave. So, like Mindy said, it can be done very quickly, but it is not going to be done alone. And so I set my sights on finding people that would exceed me in their success. I wanted the all-star lineup, and I was lucky. The next person to speak is a person-sponsored coach of mine. And it's because I believe that I had a big vision for myself. I attracted people with a big vision, and or at least I hope, it's never been about me, but it's been about passing to other people everything that I know, hoping that they do it faster and better than me so that they don't have to make all the mistakes that I made. So have a vision for your team. Even if you're currently a coach and you have no one on your team, great, you don't have any problems yet. You haven't signed the girl that calls 19 times a day. So you're in a good place. You have one, I know, me too. Success comes from teams. Even if it means that you've got to slow down and you need to ask everybody around you, where is this bus going? Where do we want to go? You know, when I decided that this year I wanted to make over $500,000, as an accountant, I can figure that out mathematically, which is another part of my nerdy accountant side. But the truth is, I knew that I needed a group of people that wanted to run with me. And I started digging deep into my downline and finding those people and helping them as if they were PS coaches. Now this might be more of a leadership example, but in the beginning, you should always be willing to help anybody that wants to run. Because in the end of the day, it is not about stars, it's about getting paid. It's about legacy income, and that comes from helping the people that are hungry. Whitney's not my PS coach, but I have been mentoring her as one for 2 years now. And it's because she wanted this business just as bad as I did, and she left her, your horrible job like a year ago. She was a paralegal, she hated going to work every day. And that resonated with me. I wanted to save her. And when you take on your team's goals, when you make her leaving her paralegal job the number one thing you work on this, today, then you get what you want by helping them get what they want. And setting that big vision for Whitney, she's not going back to being a paralegal. I don't have to worry about that. At Christmas this year, I sent out 50 diamond jackets. Wow. 50. I'm an 8-star diamond coach, so you can do the math on that one. But I probably got there, I got to my goal, which was Millionaires Club within 4 years, because I helped them get to their goal. And I was more than happy to buy every single one of those jackets, regardless of if it was 1 generation or 8 generations down. Because the truth is, if we're in this together, we have to share one vision, which is to, end the trend of obesity. But while doing that, we can also help one another achieve whatever it is that we came, to achieve. Whether it's to leave your job, or have freedom, or travel, or maybe just some extra spending money. But I hope this has helped, and Happy New Year.
That's when I decided to treat it as a business instead of partying in Vegas and that was at the beginning. I was hitting Success Club 10 and I went to Summit as a brand new star diamond, but I really just built in my warm market, and we all hit those first few months where it's a little easier because your mom and dad and sister, brother, and their friends and those people are who you're networking with. But when I shifted my mindset at Summit and I saw all the stories of coaches like me who had done it, I asked myself, why not me? And yeah.
Cool. So talk to me a little bit about how you, and I know the answer to this, but how do you get your coaches to step outside their comfort zone, or how do you motivate your coaches? Like what are you doing? Because I think a lot of people will recruit, but then their team doesn't do anything, or they don't do as much as you would hope they would do.
We have wine night.
Giving away secrets.
It's true. No, I'm just kidding.
Better explain what wine night is now.
Okay, so we do have. I oh my gosh. I hope this isn't being recorded. Carl's gonna be like, wine? So I am available well, last year anyway, every Thursday night I would hop on a webinar with my coaches, separate from my team call, and we'd have wine night. We just kind of, drink wine, loosen up, and then that was the night where everyone hit Success Club. They weren't scared anymore. They had liquid courage. No, I think getting your coaches to hit Success Club, I set their expectations to hit Success Club and go Emerald before they sign up to be a coach. And I think that's a big empowering moment. Like, listen, this is what Success Club is. This is what Emerald is, and you're gonna hit it in your first 2 weeks. I'm gonna help you. Because we don't want you to pay for your Shakeology again. Telling them this is all the great things that comes out of Success Club and Emerald before they even sign up. And then from there, it's just a lot of recognition in the team page. And anything I can do, anything you can do to boost a new coach's confidence, that goes a really, really long way. I mean, how do we feel, when someone compliments us or recognizes us for something? It just gives you this rush, and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna do more, So I think that's a really huge part of getting your coaches to hit Success Club, is recognition, boosting their confidence, and I had one more thought, but I lost it as soon as I looked at my baby.
Okay, so, crap, I had a thought. So, how good he is asleep. So, let's talk about, and I had a thought, and I can't remember what it was, but I'll take you somewhere else and we'll go back to it. So, you brought up the word boost, but not this, but do you boost ads? What is your advertising on Facebook? How are you driving your posts? How do you approach that? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's number 3, she's putting $10,000 a month into boosting her ads.
Oh, no.
Like people need to know that this is real and how you do it.
Yeah, I'm going to be totally honest. I think boosting posts and running ads on Facebook is a very good investment. It's very tricky. I know a lot of you are probably frustrated with it because sometimes you'll have an ad that does really great, you'll run the same ad the next week, and it just plummets. And I can't tell you why that is. I think it's Facebook just being tricky. I do run ads, I do boost posts. I boost the posts that get the most interaction right off the bat. I don't immediately post something and boost it. I wait and see what's working, really evaluate my audience, what they like, and I don't spend thousands of dollars on boosting and running ads, mostly because I don't know what I'm doing. It's just pushing a button and hoping it works. But I don't know. It depends. Maybe $10 to $50 a boost for 1 to 2 days. Just to expand the reach a little bit more. It's not. When I was a new coach, I did run ads. They didn't have boosting back then, but I didn't spend any more than $3 to $5, a day for 3 days.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
I know.
So is this valuable?
Yeah.
Let's, and I don't want to open this up completely. Is there a question I didn't ask? Yeah.
You said that your coaches hit Success Club in the first 2 weeks. What do you tell them to get them to?
Okay, so the question is, I don't know if everyone heard that. She gets her coaches to hit Success Club in the first 2 weeks. What does she tell them to get them to do that?
Okay, so I should have said I get them to go Emerald in the first 2 weeks. Yeah. You mean what is their next rank?
Yeah, like I have a team, but none of them are hitting Emerald. None of them are doing it. And then, not none of them, but a lot of them. So what are you doing to get them to
Move to the next.
level?
Well, definitely staying focused on Success Club. I've done training groups before. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And so what I realized last year was, and was actually supposed to be my topic. I had to get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I was calling my coaches, I was doing Zoom calls with them, doing all those really, really scary things that I didn't want to do. But just that personal touch, even as far as sending them a voice message on Facebook. You guys know that little feature. Anything I could do to personally connect with the coach would boost their confidence. And again, going back to that, anything you could do to boost confidence, recognition, even if you're recognizing the small things like, losing 5 pounds or anything not business related, it makes them want to stay plugged in and want to stay involved. So like getting off of my agenda of I need you to move to your next step, more of, let's come in with, open my arms up, wrap my arms around them, and recognize them for the little things, because eventually it did, get them going for the bigger things. But yeah, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is a huge part of this business. Even as much as like I get nervous before every Get Started Right call. I do still. I was super nervous to do this today. But it helps us grow and whatever challenges us will change us. And you just really have to keep that in mind with this business because you're going to be doing that a lot.